All right, so breeding your closely related rabbits together is called line breeding. Some breeders really like it, some breeders don't. This is the chart that I use as a reference when it comes to line breeding. So your first generation at the very top, rabbit number 1 and 2, are your very first breeding pair. When you breed them together, you get rabbit number 3, which is your second generation. Depending if that's a buck or a doe, you would breed it back to the mom or the dad to get generations 5 or 4. And then you would go down and down and down, back and back and back, and just follow these lines for your line breeding. Following the chart is simple, but picking your rabbits for the chart is a little more difficult. So with rabbits, line breeding can give you the very best of the best, but it can always give you the worst of the worst as well, because you're kind of putting in place those genetics. So with line breeding, you're going to take the best of a litter to breed back to their parents, while also keeping in mind what the weaknesses of your line are. So for instance, this is one of my 8-week-old babies that I'm starting to evaluate as whether or not I'm going to keep them or not. If this was an older animal and I wanted to breed it back to its parent, I would look to see what good factors I wanted to keep. So I don't like this one's shoulder, it's a little long. So I would not breed it back to its parent because they also have a long shoulder. Instead, if I were to keep this, which I'm not going to, but if I were to keep this animal, I would breed it to my best of show buck, who has a really great shoulder. Also, with my caster lines, I know that my casters as babies are very light, and as they get older, they'll darken up. But if this bunny weren't to darken up, I wouldn't want to breed her into a caster line like her father's, because it would ruin the roughness that I have going on in that line. The roughest being how dark the outer layer is on this caster. This is a different example for evaluation from a different litter. This is a buck about 10 weeks. The barn kind of washes him out a bit because of the lights I have, but he has a beautiful chocolate color. Now, holding him for evaluation, I like his shoulder a lot compared to his mother, but I do like his mother's depth and high point more. So if I would have kept him back to breed him, my goal would have been to get the shoulders off of this buck while getting the depth and high point off the mom through line breeding. So yeah, line breeding, I can go into more depth and everything, but that's kind of like a general overview and idea of kind of why you would do line breeding and the purpose of it.